Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. I'm gonna do a little video here on some FPV. A lot of people sent me messages saying they liked my last video, and I wanted to go over my setup a little bit here and show you a rundown of getting this thing off the ground. But I'll go over the batteries, storing, transporting, the goggles, the controller, and all that stuff, and to show you a little bit about what makes this different than your regular DJI flight experience. So stay tuned. Current setup. If you guys haven't already, go over to Joshua Bardwell's channel on YouTube and watch the FPV Drone documentary. It was just released about 2 weeks ago. I watched it last night and it was pretty amazing to see the evolution of the hobby, the sport. It was also interesting to see how closely related building and racing drones are to modifying cars, which is my previous background. So it only makes sense that the evolution has led me to this point. So I'm currently flying with a Cinewhoop 30 from GEP RC. This thing is super cool. It has a illuminated ring around the outer edge. It's carbon and ABS molded plastic, and it's pretty resilient so far. Got a GoPro Hero 11 naked on the top. So it's a stripped down version, super lightweight, and it connects to the drone's battery, so it saves weight there. These are the goggles too from DJI, with a custom foam surround to make it more comfortable on the face. This is the Radio Master Zorro. I changed out the gimbals, which are the new CNC versions. It makes it really nice to fly, super grippy, and I like how small this controller is and it fits really nicely in your hand. You could still hook up the lanyard to it, so it makes a nice weightless feel when you're flying. So that covers the drone, the goggles, and the remote. I'll go over the battery charger at another time. I have a new version coming. It's a 4 battery charger, so that usually would go here, but I have a new bigger version coming. And then these are accessories, so screws, propellers, basically anything extra you need while you're out and about flying. I have some extension cables, which come in handy when charging to get the batteries into the LiPo bags, so you can charge them safely while connected to the charger. These are my 4 batteries that I currently have. These are 6S batteries, so there are 6 cells in the pack. They're 1100 milliamp hour, and they fly pretty nicely on this drone. It's a 3-inch drone. I'll go over this in a separate video, but you should ideally mark the batteries every time you fly with them to keep track of how many packs, how many cycles you put on these batteries, because they do have a lifespan, and it's nice to know which ones you've been using more than others to keep the flight's reliable, especially if you're doing commercial work, so that you know that you'll make it through the project with a certain pack. Like I said, I charge the batteries in the LiPo safe bags. I store them and charge them in here, and then these two both go into an ammo can at home to prevent any fires from anything unpredicted. So I'm gonna get this battery strapped into the drone here. They basically go in through a Velcro slot, and you wanna make sure that the wires aren't caught up on anything. I put them in here a specific way to have the wires come out on the opposite side of where they connect, so that it takes up the slack and it doesn't look messy, and it doesn't snag on anything while it's in flight. So we'll connect these. The drone powers on, and then the balance leads are what connect the GoPro, so that charges and works off of the battery the same way. Once you connect the cabling there to the GoPro, you have to make sure that the angle of the camera matches the view that you want to capture, and I usually get them pretty close so that the onboard camera and the GoPro are at the same angle, because you're seeing the goggles through here, and this is what's recording the video. Once the GoPro is powered on, you'll see it's naked, so there are no controls and touchscreens on this. You have to operate everything off the backside through 2 buttons. So you have a start and stop and an on button. So we'll go ahead and hit the start button before we take off. With the goggles, you'll connect the power lead to the goggle battery. Once that's connected, you double click on the battery and it will boot the goggles up. I usually put this in my pocket, but they do make really nice straps that have a battery holder. It just adds an extra weight to your head, so if you're not into that, this keeps the headpiece lighter if you have the battery in your pocket. All right, so then we'll boot up the radio.
Welcome to HTX. Throttle warning.
All right, so it's giving me a throttle warning. I have some audible cues set up on this, so it talks to me. I don't have to look at the screen while I have the goggles on. And I'll fold up the antenna here. So we should be able to hear this if we click the arm button.
Armed.
So that will arm the drone, which gets it ready for takeoff. I also have a switch set up for my light here, so I can turn this on and off. I have a beeper set up too,
Gear up.
so that I can hear it in case I lose the drone. And then I also have a rate switch,
Medium rate. High rate.
so I can adjust the throttle mapping on the go while I'm flying. And then there's another switch here that I programmed.
Flight mode angle. Flight mode horizon. Flight mode angle. Flight mode acro.
So I have acro, horizon, and angle modes on a finger switch. So this makes it easier to get everything switched in the air while you are already flying. You don't have to take the goggles off to see or look at what you're doing. I'll go ahead and set it up in acro mode, which is what I usually film in, and we'll get it off the ground, so stay tuned here. So that was about a 5-minute flight on the first battery. Thanks for tuning in. Let me know if you want to see some more content like this. Peace.